Hello, Ravenclaw, and welcome to your weekly general reading. I hope you had a wonderful first week, and I hope that 2022 is starting off very positive for you. As for me, doing all right. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? I'm filling that side. Let's go ahead and do it. See what's in store. Oh, somebody jumped. Okay. Alright, so far so good. Off to a pretty good start. Oh shit, okay. Let's see. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to take all those cards. But then again, I took a bunch for Hufflepuff, so let's just see. I think he came out first. Alright, that's a nice little spread. Let's go ahead and get a clarifier, shall we? And there we are. Oh, two of them for you. Wow, Ravenclaw. Okay. So, excuse me. Alright, so first off, we've got the Demiguise. And then we've got Barty Crouch Jr. And then we have the dragon, which is the, oh, is it the Norwegian Ridgeback? I think so. The one that Harry fought. And Pansy Parkinson. And then we have Newt. And we have the Cauldron. Not sure if that's focusing really good for you. Okay, and the Cauldron. We have Neville and Ron's wand. Aragog and Arthur Weasley. Arabella Fig and the werewolf. Focus. Let's see. There we go. Okay. And finally, two clarifiers. Four of Wands and the Hierophant. There we go. Okay, so give me a moment and then I will be right back and we will figure this out. So I'm going to talk this out a little bit. What I'm getting so far is this feeling of things are not exactly what they seem. Sort of. So with the Demiguise, you know, they can appear invisible. They're pretty gentle creatures. Their hair is used for invisibility cloaks. But this little guy, he's got his bag with him. So I'm thinking there's like maybe some kind of collection going on. Let me explain. Remember I said like the whole things are not what they seem, right? Also like this air of like secrecy or something or other. And I'm seeing that with Barty Crouch Jr., right? With the polyjuice potion, him pretending to be Mad Eye Moody. With the werewolf, Lupin hiding that he's a werewolf. Arabella Figg pretending to be just a, lady with a bunch of cats when really she's actually a squib and she's been watching over Harry for all these years. Neville, even with him, he hides the fact and doesn't want people to know what really happened with his parents. He doesn't like talking about it. Newt hides his creatures, his beasts, that. So I'm getting this a hiding feeling, but the overall message that I'm really getting here with the Four of Wands is the message at the bottom. It says perfection. And then with the Hierophant, also more secrecy. Dumbledore is notorious for secrecy, correct? So I'm thinking that maybe you're cooking up something that maybe you're not ready to show everybody yet, or maybe it's also you're trying too hard to obtain that perfection. With Aragog, I'm seeing normally I would say with the spider, I'm seeing like all of this like having your hands in many pockets. With Ron's wand and it being the wand that does show that it has the spello tape on it, I'm thinking of things like backfiring. I know this is supposed to be the Norwegian Ridgeback, but it makes me think of the Chinese fireball with the self-sabotaging. That doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem right. Every time the Hierophant comes out, in most other readings, not with this one with Dumbledore, I get that structure feeling, that like doing things by the book. But maybe not getting the full story. With this perfection one, this spine is pretty straight, but the other ones, they're really curvy. And unfortunately, with the way my mind works, those 3 candles in the back, they just don't look right. But that's just me. If you ever seen any of the stuff I paint, you would understand what I'm referring to. But it's a curved spine. And I'm not saying that somebody that has a curved spine isn't perfect, but with this one right here up front and it being straight, and with the Hierophant being that rigidity, that structure, I feel like you're trying to put into your bag things to get it right. Which leads me to Pansy and Arthur. He just looks all kinds of suspicious. He looks like he's not trusting. And Pansy, well, hell, she doesn't trust anybody unless you're Draco. And she's very quick to kind of jump on board with like any kind of conspiracy theory. Like she's got that kind of energy going on. And then you've got these two with their wands extended. Granted, you can't see his wand, but they're both looking at you, and they're both kind of pointing, but kind of ready. They're both ready to fight. They're in that fighting stance. Where is this going, Ravenclaw? I feel like here I'm thinking there's like this distrust of somebody that's been around forever. I feel like there's a lot of just distrust, period. I feel like you're not trusting something, and I'm wondering if it's you're not Okay, see, that sounds right now. That's okay. I feel like you're not trusting yourself to do this thing because you're so worried about doing it perfectly and doing it by the book and following the rules because those are the rules that have been set down. You know, like you were told things could only be done a certain way. And I feel like maybe, maybe you need to kind of switch it up a little bit. Because out of all of these people, I'm only seeing Pansy really in the middle. And Neville in the beginning was very much by the rules. Okay? But he's always breaking rules. He's always breaking rules. And, I mean, she's following orders. I don't know that she's ever really a rule breaker. He's definitely a rule breaker. So I don't know, I'm seeing kind of these conflicting feelings, especially these two right here. Like you couldn't be more polar opposite than these two. Very rigid, and then here he looks like he's very rigid, but he just went through like this traumatic event. And so he's very leery of what's going on. I feel like you're full of a lot of distrust right now. And I'm really feeling that because even with the demi guys, the way that they're holding their bag close to them, it's like, kind of like this feeling of like, keeping it it's my bag. I don't want to share. I don't want to give it up. I don't want to leave from this position. And I'm not sure if that is the right thing for you to be doing right now. I'm not getting a definitive that yes, you should trust right now. I'm feeling more. Me personally, I'm like, don't wait for it to be perfect. Just get it out there. Whatever it is you're doing, whatever this thing is that you're trying to do. If you're trying to start a business, don't wait until everything's perfect. If you're trying to move, don't wait until I wouldn't that's hard for me to say. I wouldn't personally move if it wasn't perfect. With the werewolf, it's all about timing. And whenever you're cooking something, you've got to get it just right. Maybe that is what you need to do right now, Ravenclaw. Maybe it's telling you to cook, to hold this close to you and let it cook, let it simmer. Because it seems to me that right now you have too many conflicting negative emotions going through, and you are striving for perfection, and you have this very rigid idea of how things are supposed to go. And I think right now is not the time to do something more, like making a move in any direction. I don't see that. I see a lot of this stay put kind of energy, this distrusting energy, this, hey, you know what? It's going to come back. You need to go and you need to chill somewhere. Like, go home and stay safe. And very, very warning kind of look. I feel like everything's kind of wonky right now. And I feel like in the state that you're not in a position to make any moves yet. That feels really strong right now. So that's where I'm going to leave it, Ravenclaw. I don't know who that was for. Hopefully it helps somebody. Until next week, I love you and be good to yourselves. And yeah, bye.